All praises to the Most High YAHAWAH. Shalom, brothers and sisters. Thank you for being here. It is good to be here. Give me a one if you can hear me and see me very well. Hopefully, this thing is not pixelated because my phone, the music being double played, there's an echo in there. I don't know where that thing is coming from. Okay, it's very weird. Welcome, brothers. Let me try this again, see if it will do the same thing. I don't know what happened, but when I'm trying to listen to the music, to the mute, to the to the music, yeah. Oh, okay. I still can't hear the echo. Can you guys hear me? Is it echoing? Volume is still low. What happened? Is it good? Is it good? No. Okay. Okay. Why there's a echo there? I keep hearing an echo. My voice is echoing. Why? Did I open something in that? Oh, okay. All right. I know what happened. My Lord. All right. All right. I see what happened here. Uh, yeah, I see what happened. Yes. I heard the echo because I had something open in the background. I had something open there. Uh, yeah. So I got it. I got it. It's good now. It's good. There we go. Yeah, I was making some music and the software when it's feeding back to the microphone to the headphone. I can hear it, but you guys can't. So yeah, uh, boy, this thing. My daughter's out there with her friends, so it's gonna be a little bit loud. Welcome, brothers and sisters. Welcome. Thank you for being here. It is good to be here. Shalom, brothers. Shalom, sisters. We're about to embark on a 2, 3, 4, 5,000 years of voyage back in the past. Everything is good, beloved brothers. We are going to see why the pyramids was built according to the Egyptians. Who built them and why and how? It's a age old questions. And what's inside of those things? Well, what's inside, they go into details in the next chapter, but we are going to study today. Brothers and sisters, Jews and Gentiles alike, peace be unto you, peace be with you, brethren. Peace, peace. Put all your faith and fear in the Most High. Yes, brothers. Yes, shalom. Thank you. Welcome. Let us settle down. We're going to take at least 10 minutes to begin, and we are going to go in depth. Well, not really in depth, and whatever they have in this book. So we're going to go into there and see what we can find. Brothers and sisters, today is April the 21st, and I was just watching something with Putin. Oh boy, this fellow again, brothers. We are not here. We are not advising or advertising violence, nor promoting violence. This is just us studying and we cannot speak freely because people will assume that there's conspiracy going on here. There's none of this nonsense going on here. But the big bear make a very clear, not threat though, a very clear warning about a red line. Um, and he said if anybody cross this red line, he will take harsh and quick and tough action. And we know he's not playing, he's not bluffing. Okay, so with this fellow, he's not playing, he's not bluffing. And I haven't heard anything from outside. I haven't heard any answer from outside. It's just section here, section there, and but things happening. We have over there in the Berlin protest. There's a fellow they put under house of correction, and he's going into a hunger strike. And the quote unquote the eagle warned that if this fellow die, they will take action. Now, understand one thing in the book of Matthew, when they said, just like in the days of Noah, brothers, expect those people to act like everything is back to normal, which you know it's not. Expect them to open all their businesses. That's when it's going to happen. Expect when all schools are fully loaded, all businesses are open, and people are going back partying, going on the cruise and stuff, then it's going to happen. I believe pretty much all the churches are open right now. And today, brothers and sisters, India record 300,000 new cases. All 300, well, I'm not quite sure if all of them, but I assume most of them is that new variant thing. In one day, Brazil is still getting pummeled. And I'm watching the thing right now. They still haven't. Today is April the 21st. It's been 11 days. They still haven't updated yet. Yeah. If anybody can put the phone number, I believe somebody's just asked this. The chart is moving. So I've been a little bit silent on what's going on because I am under orders from the Mossad to sit this one down a little because again brother, some of the news we really don't want to bring them to you. Yeah, the Philippines is, oh good, we really don't want to bring it because if we bring it, brothers, even though it's good thing for you, but you don't want to see this, man. You don't want to see a bunch of dead bodies and people are dying. That thing in Myanmar, it's still the same. Okay, and the over there in Haitian, in the middle west, so to speak, the opposite, there's still a lot of things going on. Okay, there's still a lot of things going on, and the shootings are happening all like every single day. You got a MS, man, brothers. Every day there's a MS. Today there was one, and somewhere around in a gas station, one manager was talking to his employee, and employee got mad or something, and then he came back with the automatic stuff and spray everybody in there, and he ended up the manager, and he did a bunch of stuff. Every single day, brothers, an MS over there, and people want to sit there, and they're going to act like everything is okay, everything is fine. And I believe yesterday or 2 days ago it was raining. I'm gonna have to put that thing on silent because those kids gonna keep opening the door. Um, there is there it was snowing. I believe in Missouri. Somebody was telling me it was snowing over there in Missouri, and Detroit, I believe, Missouri or Detroit. Brethren, the 10 plagues of the apocalypse of Abraham will not stop. You cannot stop the weather. You can't do anything against it. You cannot stop this plague. You can't do anything against it. Now, what's happening now, brothers and sisters, is a lot of people are being shaken in the boots. They'll start noticing, well, not only things are not the same and it won't going back to normal and it's getting worse. They'll start saying that there are certain things, certain blessings, certain advantages, certain stuff they had is being a little bit, it's fading it out. Certain privilege are not the same. Certain things they used to do on camera in front of the whole world, they will get away with it. They will rig the jury, they will rig everything, they get away with it. Now they see there's a shift. And again, brothers, you have some of our own people, one scumbag and one of those Israelites. I don't know why our people are subscribing to those people out there. He put a video out there, I would say a week ago. One of those scumbag white supremacists with a gun, like, oh, let me tell you something, man. When you Black Lives Matter, no matter what the jury gonna do, we're going to do a lot of things. And the video is titled, "Oh, they're going to start killing Jacob Trouble." And if any one of you are dealing with this thing, you like watching things like that, and when those guys are saying something, you move. Oh my God, they're gonna kill a lot of us doing the trial and stuff like that. And I keep telling you, people, be still. Be still. Those people got a lot of their mouth. It's nothing but bite. Since when the enemy going to do something to you and he announce it to you? Since when the enemy say, "Oh, on national television, oh, we're going to infect you with tuberculosis." Oh man, you people won't see that tuberculosis coming. Oh, we're going to infect you with AIDS. You won't see that AIDS coming. We're going to infect your hood, your beautiful neighborhood, with drugs and heroin and crack, and we won't see that coming. Since when they do that? They'll scumbag online of talking and barking loud like they're gonna do something they ain't gonna do. Hish. Oh, Jacob Trouble gonna come, or the military gonna come in your house and drag you out, and then put you in camp, FEMA camp, and then beat you in the name of YAHAWAH. Are you for Yahushua or for white Jesus Christ? They're gonna beat you and stuff like that. And so, oh, is that what that is? So you are aware of something that's going to happen to you now. For all over 500 years, you were never aware what things going to happen to you. Now they're going to announce to you, get ready, be on your guard, we're going to attack you. The enemy is a coward. They are cowards. They never tell you when they're going to attack you. Oh, Japan. Oh, Japan, you better be, you Japanese over there better be ready, because we're going to drop a bomb on you. Yeah, be ready. On this day, that day, we're gonna drop that bomb. Yeah, right, man. And I keep telling my people, listen and stop listening to the people that keep telling you they speak with Metatron, they speak with the Archangel Uriel, they speak with the Archangel Gabriel, and the Archangel tell them it's going to happen this day and that day. We told you. We told our people, stop messing with those people. When you see somebody talking like this, acting like they're going to do something to our people, just click away. And whoever is bringing you those news, they are not bringing you peace. Stop going to those people. They are disturbing the peace. And we told you, if you're in this spiritual hospital, you keep disturbing the peace. You keep asking, well, you said there'll be no Jacob trouble, but this guy right there say something. And then everybody gonna look on and say, what did he say? He said like they're going to attack us during the trial and stuff. You're disturbing the peace. You're disturbing the peace in the hospital, man. You're gonna get kicked out. Your first and your last priority is the Most High. With that being said, brothers and sisters, this is the Pillar of Fire by John H. Ingram, or John or Joseph, by Joseph Holt Ingram. We are currently on page 190, and we are going to study letter 16. We have Abbasis. He's going to visit the pyramid. So this book is over 448 pages. Well, it's actually 448 pages. We are about 191. I said another month or so. Yeah, another 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know what's gonna happen in 2 or 3 weeks. We should be done with this book. Now we're going to study letter 16 and letter 15. We encounter the way the Egyptians do their funeral, and we see for instance, if somebody they are about to bury this person, and then one person come up and say that they accuse the dead of doing something, and two more witnesses came in, this person will not be buried, and that person will stay above ground for years. Okay, and then after that they will do a ceremony, and they will bury that person in the sepulcher of evil. Okay, so a lot of things is happening, brothers, but tonight again we are going to study. We see what was happening back then, thousands of years ago, and we find out that if the person cannot produce the proof, the family and friends going to stone that person to death. And you find out, like those Egyptians, they worship pretty much everything. Their priest, their high priest, told them not to do this, just like here, you told a Christian not to worship anything, not to worship Jesus Christ, not to worship, the saints. Catholic and Christian are pretty much the same. You told that religion over there in the Middle East, stop worshiping this fellow with the black cube. They don't care. That's not what all religions, they have something to do with the one higher power. But some people, they can't pass through this. They can pass through this once they see, if you're explaining them something through like a goat, and then they will worship the goat. For instance, in the book of remembrance, there's a passage that mention, when you make a bread with a sheep milk, it's a bread of angel. You break the bread with your hand, and guess what? Some people will worship the sheep because the sheep is God to them. No, it's not. It just told you the milk come from the sheep. They will worship it. And then you will have people that will worship it, the bread, the actual physical bread. Some people don't want to eat bread anymore. They want to eat bread they can break with their hand. They won't cut bread with knife anymore. They will put it above the Most High. They won't know the lesson here. That's what the Egyptian was doing. Any little thing you try to explain to them in a metaphor, they took it literally. So now we got Sesostris, and he's going to the to he left the burying place, and then now he's moving to the pyramid. This is letter 16 and page 191, but I'm gonna begin in page 193. Okay, so now with all those things going on in there, Sesostris is with one of the high priests. So the high priest is bringing him to the pyramids. He's going to see the pyramids, like the giant pyramids. Again, brothers, if you want to believe the pyramids is somewhere in the third part, fine by me. If you want to believe it's here, good by me. As long as we're not arguing, and then we are studying these things. And as you know, Sesostris is a Phoenician prince, a Tyrian prince. He came from Phoenicia, Tyre, and Sidon, the same country. Well, the country name is Phoenicia, but Tyre and Zidon are like capital city. One of them again is the religious capital, and the other one is like the agricultural and like the commercial, the merchandise capital. So Sesostris is 28 years old. He's not in Phoenicia anymore. He's in Egypt studying. And so far, brothers, this guy he haven't been to school. This dude he's been in Egypt for about like 2 months now. He never been in school. Brothers, all this guy been learning is the culture. He was supposed to go to school learning the art of war, culture and stuff. All he's interested is learning about the Mossad. That's all he's been doing. This guy's been at least 3 months now in Egypt. He will say how many stuff he over there in Egypt, but he's still learning about the Mossad. So now this is him writing to his mother, Queen Epithia of Phoenicia, and this is what he said. When the high priest took him to see the pyramid, page 193. As we reach halfway, a block which has been removed from its place, either by the irresistible force of Sirocco from the desert, or by lightning, gave the high priest and myself a welcome resting place. Now, you hear what he said? He said, when he reached halfway to see the passage, the pyramid, there's a giant block which has been removed either by an irresistible force of a Sirocco. I'm not quite sure what a Sirocco is, Sirocco, from the desert, or by lightning. I never heard of this, how lightning can move giant blocks. I don't know if that feasible. They probably, most likely it's a metaphor, but they say they could move stuff with lightning. Don't know why. As we stood here a few moments, I looked down upon the prospect below. The sight at first made me dizzy. So they climb up all over. They try to get on top of the pyramid. They try to get on top of the pyramid while they are climbing. And they get to they get somewhere that is very high. So he looked down, him and the priest, and then he's not used to those heights. So the sight made him a little dizzy. But he quickly caught his strength. For we were elevated for 400 feet above the base. That's pretty high. I seems to be suspended upon wings above an abyss, and a dreadful desire to throw myself out in midair seized me, so that to resist it, I closed my eyes and clung firmly to the attendant. It happened, brothers. It happened. Sometimes people get to certain heights and a demon jump in you, and then that demon tell you, jump, jump. There is a irresistible urge for you to jump down. And he said he closed his eyes because there's something in him that keep telling him to jump down there. It soon passed off, and I gazed down upon the vast quadrangle, the person in which looked no bigger than ants. That's how far high they were. That's how far high they were. While the three colossi of the gods in the center were reduced to the natural size of men. He got so high that when he looked down, the people looked like ants. They were walking out. That's how high he climbs with the priest. And then when he looked the statues and stuff, the trees. Let me see. When he looked like the three big statues that was down there, those three giant statues, they look regular sized men, but the people, the real human, look like little ants. He's very high. He's very high up. Opposite, not 600 cubic distance, stood Capri's. We know who Capri's were. So why, right? I mean, Sirocco, Jogo, rarely Mediterranean, that comes from the Sahara and can be reached hurricane speed and north. Okay, Sirocco is like a land hurricane. So this giant black that he saw, he said it's two things. Either a land hurricane pushed this rock or the lightning levitated, something like that. So that's what Sirocco mean. It's a Sirocco is the same. Well, not the same. It's similar to typhoon or hurricane and some type of gust of wind, giant gust of wind. Now, opposite, not 600 cubits distant, stood Capri's. Okay? We know who Capri's is, okay? Capri's from each pyramid swept the avenues of columns and the great wall connecting both with the central temple and its pylon. From the grove of palms curled into the pure orange color atmosphere, a blue cloud of incense were some priests offering and one of his shrine. So he was looking, Capri's, the statue, Capri's. He was looking the pyramid, Capri's, and he saw the priests over there. They were doing some essence, making some offering and sacrifices. And he looked up on the cloud. The sun is about to, going to set, and it's beautiful. There's that orange glow mixing with the blue sky, give like a pink, some type of beautiful off color that looks so beautiful because he's way high up. He can see everything. It's very beautiful. Again, we mounted upwards and after incredible fatigue gained the summit. So now after a while now, they reached the apex. They reached the top of the pyramid. And it's they got there, they were pretty tired. Not without peril, for a slip of the foot of the hand, each black being as high as a man's neck, would prove fatal. Indeed, more than one life has been lost in falling down the side of the pyramid. A prince of Midian, we know who Midian was, right? Anybody tell us who Midian was? Who was Midian? A prince of Midian, a country, and give us a famous guy. He was a Midianite. He was very famous. If you can go give us the famous one that helped Moses and that scumbag that was trying to curse, Israel when he was crossing the desert. So a prince of Midian, a country in Arabia, lost his life last century by losing his old and this is not funny, but it's tough. A country of Arabia lost his life last century by losing his old and falling from Capri's, which is more difficult of ascent than Cheops or Chukfu, as the priests then call his names. Okay. Now, yes, so they get on top. And he said, when he got there, thank you, Midian is one of the child of Abraham, and then one of the famous Midianite is Jethro. Okay, Jethro is the one that trained. He was Moses' mentor. Okay, Jethro. I believe they're going to mention Jethro in this book. Jethro was in the Ten Commandment movie, which is this book is the script of this movie. And when you're reading this book, so far we haven't seen anything yet that is connected with this movie. So yeah, he was a high priest of Melchizedek. Jethro was a high priest. He was a Midianite. And the scumbag, the most powerful scumbag, he was also a Midianite. His name was Balaam, or like I like to call it, Balaam. Remember Balaam and the donkey? He was the guy. He was a Hebrew. He was one of the brothers. Okay, and Balaam was the Mosai sent. He was a prophet of the Mosai. The Mosai sent him to bless Israel. He was the one who put the blessing upon us. He gave us that everlasting blessing by his hand. So the Mosai sent him, and then he went back home. I told this story multiple times. He went back home, and Balak, the Moabite king, brought to him money, women, and wine so he could turn back the blessing. And Balaam told him, listen, my master told me, once I put, he said that, he told Balaam, listen, he told Balak, listen, Balak, I will do everything for that money and those women and that booze, but I'll take the women and the booze, but the thing is, I cannot turn back what my master had done. Whatever he said it for. And then the Mosai was pretty pissed off, man. When the Mosai came in and the Mosai looked, he saw the Moabites standing there. And then the Mosai went in there and he called Balaam. He said, the Mosai like, yo, what the these Negroes over there. Who are them? Why they are here? And Balaam like, yo, Mosai, calm down. They're not here for anything. I'm just gonna go ahead and then the Mosai tell him straight up. He say, man, tell these Negroes to. The Mosai was pretty pissed off, man. He told them, get the fuck out of here. I don't want them here. Don't do anything to them and stuff. Balaam took the money. He was a scumbag. He was a Midianite. The reason why we're bringing this story is because there was in this a century ago, 100 years ago, one of those Midianite sons of Midian. Again, Abraham taught all his son about the Mosai, just like Noah taught all his son about the Mosai, just like Adam taught all his sons about the Mosai, just like Jacob, just like Isaac taught both of his sons about the Mosai. Jacob did the same. It depends on what they're going to do. You taught your children how to work and how to walk in the light. They decide they want to do something else. So when this prince, this Median prince, was climbing Cheops, and then his hand slipped, he fell 400-500 feet all the way up, and then he splat on the ground. He died. Now, they already named 2 pyramids, all right? Yeah, that scumbag slipped, man. The most I got this fool, the most I, throw some oil. The most I, when he was touching the thing, the most I throw some oil in there, and then his hand slipped on it, and then he fell. We already know there's 2, it's 3 big pyramids. There's 2 there. There's Kepris and there's Cheops. Those are 3 giant pyramid. They are the biggest. Okay. Shalom, brothers. Welcome. Thank you for being here. It is good to be here. How shall I describe to you, dear mother, the scene which burst upon my vision? That's when you get on top of it. As I gaze about me from this mountain-like elevation, as I ascend, the prospect of the country enlarged of every step. His eyes stop, the whole place start expanding when he's outside. He can see everything. But now I seems to behold the earth itself spread out beneath me. Again, brothers, back then, they didn't have that much. When you go on top of a mountain or on top of the pyramid and the 4th part, you pretty much could see the entire earth. You could see the whole earth. You can just sit there. You can see everything. Right now, there's so much pollution in the air, so much things they spray. Your visibility is limited. You can't see very far. It's not like you're getting old. You can see quite far, brothers. Back then, the atmosphere was crystal clear. You can see very, very far. It is said in certain books that I'm reading that the human eyes pretty much can see everything. They can look up in the sky. They see Alpha Centauri, which is billions of years, billions of miles away. You can actually see it. And then the earth, you can, if you stand somewhere like high enough, you can make a 360 degrees. You can see the whole earth everywhere. But it's so polluted. Once you start seeing a little bit further, it's getting foamy. It's getting it's getting all like smoky. You can't see it anymore. But your eyes, you can actually see very, very, very far. So he said it here. Excuse me. I seems to behold the earth itself spreading out beneath me. The place where we stood, which looks from below like a sharp apex. It is a platform several cubits across, in which 20 men could stand and move about with ease. So there was a lot of space where he was. 20 men can just move with ease. So he was at the top of it, and then he can see everything. Yeah. I can give you no adequate conception of the scene I beheld. First, the valley of the Nile, which you saw, was visible. You heard what he said, brothers. The valley of the Nile was visible. Now, brothers, one of the reason, like, why he said the valley of the Nile was visible, because he can see it. Your eyes is very pure. That's why the Most High is being very careful with our eyes. There are certain things we're not supposed to see with our fleshly eyes. Your eyes is a very powerful organ. Okay, I said besides your heart, your eyes is probably the second most powerful organ, not your tongue though. Your eyes, because you can lose your tongue, you gain your hand, you can write, but your eyes is what you see, and what you see you can put it in picture. That's why people like to worship a God they can see. They may not hear this God, but they want to see it. Your eyes is very tricky. Again, the reason why now you can see those things is because the pollution in the air and the pollution that coming from the earth, and when the sun beaming on those things, they created like some type of glare, some type of vapor. You can see right, but back then the atmosphere was pure. You can see everywhere. When he looked, he saw the Nile extended for many leagues. Leagues, when he said leagues, they mean measure, like miles. Extended for many leagues at the right and left, and resembling a green belt a few miles wide, through which the river flowed like a silver band, while upon its borders countless cities were set upon precious stones. So he can see the whole city, brothers. He can see the whole cities. He saw the city of On. He saw the city of Memphis. He saw Rahamses, the city of Rahamses. Rahamses wasn't a person. He was a city. He was a city. According to this book, we haven't get to him yet, but he saw all the cities. He saw the Nile. He saw everything. He saw the temple. It was gorgeous and magnificent assemblage of city, temple, palaces, obelisks, and all that and stuff. And then he saw, when he turned to a certain place, he saw that gloomy place. This specific place, you can type who lived there. This specific horrible place where they put a certain people there, a certain unwanted group of people. They just push them in that place. And he can see this place too. And then when he saw this, a great darkness fell upon him. He felt like, his heart sank. When he saw that place too, he basically can see that horrible place, and he saw everything. Okay. Anybody can tell us then who's live? Thank you, Sister Brandy. Thank you, Sister Lakeisha. He saw the hood. He saw the ghetto. He saw where the Hebrews at. He saw the hood. He saw where they put our people. Those are all tombs of kings, but of a later age, and this is one. All those giant stuff, all those giant pyramids, he says, those, that's the high priest telling him, he said, those are all tombs of kings, but of a later age than this one. He said, all those pyramids, they are tombs of kings that came way, way before. Said the hierarch, looking towards them. Each monarch at the commencement of his reign laid the foundation of a pyramid. He built first a small one containing his sarcophagus or sarcophagus and sepulchral chamber. Then every year he added to the outside a complete layer of stone, which after many years extended its base and increased its elevation and like proportions. Therefore, the size of the pyramid marks the age of the king lives. So he told him, that's the high priest talking to Sesostris. He said, you see these pyramids over there? They are all tombs of great kings. Those three big pyramids, they are tombs of great kings. Those great kings, they live a long time before our realm, before our time came in. Brothers, remember, the deluge, brother, the water that the Messiah sent did not destroy the earth with the water only. Not only this water, brother, it cut off the ages of men to 1,000 to 100, barely 100. Okay, you lucky if you can pass 120. You can't even. I don't even know anybody that leave 150, 190, except that whole little lady in Haiti. She's like, I heard the rumor she was 188, but you barely can reach this age. Not only the deluge, the flood did this. The flood actually, I don't know, the flood pushed us, or the flood opened a portal that is transfer us from one dimension to this one, because this dimension is not as same as it was when Noah was alive. That's why there were a lot of crap those people used to see. You can't see them now. Probably they are cloaked with the Mosai technology, because the flood did a lot. And they will explain to you what the flood did to the pyramids. And the flood kind of messed up the atmosphere also, because the water that are above are not the same, the one that are below. That's why when that water fell, it was like an acid. It killed a lot of things. It just when the water came out of the sky, when it fell on them, they turned into stone. If you're familiar with Mud City University, Mud Fossil University, if you're familiar with this fellow, you can see all those titans. They turn into rock because that water wasn't like a water to play with, the one that are above the firmament. Yeah. So um yeah. So yeah, and before that, you have Methuselah lived 969 years old. I would say like 90% of the people watching here are not even 69. You're not even 70. 100% of people that are watching here are not 100 years old. You barely live. Back then, those people can live a lot. So the water actually did a lot of damage. There's a lot of things. Certain creature that the water, they could breathe in water. Certain animals, they can be in water, but when the water of the firmament met them, the water killed them because it wasn't a regular water. Now he said those giant pyramid, that's the high priest talking to Sisosha. He said those are the tombs those king that used to live back then built them. The way they do it, in the first year of this king reign, they build a smaller, they build their coffin, they build the sepulcher first. This is weird, man. This is weird. From the moment you are born, brothers, you are planning your funeral. That's like, wow. It's like, well, you people are so interested in death because they know for a fact this life we are living now is a temporary thing. They are preparing all their life for death. He said when this first king came in, he built a smaller pyramid, okay? And then he put a sarcophagus in it, like a coffin, so to speak, if I say this right. And then he said every year he put a layer on the pyramid. So the second year of his reign, he put a layer. So the king back then, they don't rule like president, like 4 or 5 years. They rule for life. Some of them die very early. Some of them die very, very late. Like Noah was a king. Abraham was a king. They were prince and king. They ruled for a long time. So imagine you were Methuselah, who were like a king, and you got 969 years. You are building something. Well, you are building it probably like 900 years ago when you started at age 69. Can you imagine how big this thing will be if you spend that much time building it? So that's what it says. Then I said, the kings who built the multitude of lesser pyramids, which we behold in the distance, must have had much shorter lives than the builder of prince of a vast fire. So Sesostris look, he said, there are a bunch of pyramids, each pyramid is a king, but there's 3 of them that are they are like giant pyramid. And then after them, the one that came after the 3 are very small. And he said, so what about those one over there are unfinished, and that one is very small? What's happening? He said, well, the one that you see that are unfinished, those are the king that died during their construction. So when the king died, they left this pyramid. The other king that comes start to build his own. He said the reason why you see the one are smaller, because the one that are small were built by people our size. He said the people that look like you and me, they are the one that built this. The smaller one, they are the one that live after the flood because they can barely live 100 years. He said pyramids take a hell of a lot of time to be built. He said those things take a long, long, very time to build. He said that's why the three big one they were built by giant king. He said those kings. He said those. This is not a work of regular men. This is a work of giant. He said giant. He said yeah, they were giants. They were giant men. He said those men were so big they could just stand right next to the pyramid. That's how big they were. Their head could like reach all the way up to the cloud. He said those are the one who built those giant freaking pyramids. And then he said, wow. He said, that's what that is. He said, yeah. He said, to build a pyramid, you will never be able to build one of those pyramids because you cannot live 1,000 years. And he said, human, our age cannot build anything for 1,000 years because the technology gonna keep bringing them. Once if they start, can you imagine if we start building something back in 1,000 years from now would be 1021, back in 1021, and then it's finished in 2021. Can you imagine how messed up that whole thing was going to be? We will lose the technology, we will lose the knowledge. He said the reason why the pyramid are perfect, the first king that started to build it, he finished it. That means he got the knowledge from the way it start building and then all the way up to the way it finished. When a king can live 100 years, he cannot build a pyramid that is a big ass pyramid. He can only build a little pyramid that is somewhere around 40, 50 years. If even so. He said, when Sasha saw, he said, this is the work of giant. He said, men cannot lift those rock. He said they had engine. He said engine, which means technology. He said they have engine that is far more superior. They had mathematics, astrology, which means he's telling you they had superpowers that they could use, levitated those rock. As being giant, their knowledge was far better than us. He said we use warp and hash, but those people, and then they build those things. Okay, let us read what we just said here. You are right, O Prince, he said. When the pyramid on which we now stand, his companions were builders, men's live were of the duration of 1,000 years. This is page 195. He said, this pyramid that we are standing here, the king that built it, their life duration were of 1,000 years. So he had 1,000 years he could build this thing. Okay? But the one that came after, the flood cut their lifespan into 100 years. They cannot build something that big. True, O Prince of Tyre, he answered. These two, that he said that was before the traditional deluge. I reply with surprise of interest. So those three pyramids was built way before the Great Flood. It was built way before the Great Flood. Remember, Noah spent 120 years preaching to the people, which is 120 years, probably like a year and a half for them. But which one of you are 120 years old here? Nobody can say that here. I'm very confident, except if we have one of the angels in there. True, O Prince of Tyre, he answered. These two great pyramids says our sacred books were the work of the giants who lived in the days before the flood of Noachis or Noah. They are the tombs of their kings and were centuries in being built according to our years. And when the gods brought to the unknown oceans over the earth, they punished the nation which living so long become as wise as the gods, but at the same time grew as wicked as wise. These vast sepulchres withstood like the lesser hills, the waters of desolation, and remain in ruinous grandeur, not only as witnesses of the flood, but monument of the past people whose towers as well as tomb reach unto the heavens. Now you understand why Nimrod was trying to build the Tower of Babel. Tower is another code for a freaking pyramid. Now you understand, after the flood, Nimrod came in and then he tried to duplicate what the kings before him did. Nimrod was building a giant freaking pyramid so he can reach the firmament. There is a certain height you reach in the earth. There is certain ley line, main ley line. You can touch in it and you can open a portal straight to heaven. Nimrod was well aware of that. That is why when Nimrod was building his quote-unquote tower, which we know as a pyramid, he took them 1 year to get one block to the top. 1 year. If they start giving this block, today is Wednesday, April the 21st, it will reach the top, the top, the apex of that pyramid and of that tower as we know it. And next Wednesday, 2022, he took 1 year to pass the materials. That's how high that means back then, bro. The earth, sometimes it gets smaller, and smaller and smaller until the Most High came in and expanded it all again. Well, at least where we stay at. It is said when Nimrod was building his quote-unquote tower or pyramid, when a lot of people died. When one of the construction workers fell from the top, it took him a year to reach the bottom. That guy died. It took him a year to fell on the bottom of the earth. And when it fell, nobody cried. But when one of the blocks fell, there was wailing, crying. People like, oh my God, oh Lord, we lost one block. 10 people fall, they don't care. One block fall. This is in the book of Joshua. Anybody remember that? Where are my Joshuaites? The people that read the book of Joshua. Anybody remember that? Oh yeah, brother Peter. That had to hurt, brothers. Oh, you fall. 10 minutes pass. 30 minutes. 1 hour. God damn it, I'm still falling. All right, let me take a nap. You start sleeping. You wake up the next day, you still falling, brothers. 1 week, you're falling. Damn. You're falling down, you're falling. After 3 months, you die of hunger. The wind going to kill you. When you reach the ground, you don't even reach the ground. Your skeleton will reach it. Oh, kill me, brother. Just put the gun in my head. Boom, send me home. You fall off that place, brothers. We were gonna fall for a year. That's how far, brothers. This is their saying, brothers. You have to understand. Back then, the earth was a hell of a lot larger. It was big. Thing was high. The trees, the animals. That's what the Most High like his pet, the Leviathan. Yeah, you fell from that thing, brothers. It will take you a year to reach the bottom. So that's what it says here. And whose towers? Listen, brothers. Okay, he said, but monuments of past people whose tower as well as tomb reach unto the heavens. One of the reasons why those guys do this, they want to be like the Most High. They want to reach the Most High. Nimrod was building that super pyramid so he can open it and connect to one of the ley line and suck up the energy and open a portal to the heaven and invade the heaven and fight the Most High. Remember when he got close and then he ordered his soldiers to fire, and then the soldiers pull up the arrows and bows and they shoot at the Most High, and then they shoot into the heaven, where he actually opened the portal, and the Most High threw the arrows back with blood, and Nimrod was like, yes, we got him. Nimrod was so happy he killed the Most High. And this is one of the things the Most High did just to F with him. The Most High was effing with Nimrod. When Nimrod pick up the arrow, see blood in it, hey, they start dancing. Oh, they killed the Messiah. And then one of them walk up and say, Nimrod, congratulations, my man. And then Nimrod turn around and say, what? He say, what? He could not understand it. The Messiah confounded and give them each of them languages they could not understand. Yeah, they are freaking giants. The giants were idiots. Brothers, you won't understand how stupid the giants were. They were very, very stupid. That's why the Messiah used Nimrod to take them out. And they really believe they could kill the Messiah, brothers. The Messiah messed with Nimrod. It's like he punked Nimrod and then he had Esau kill him. But anyway, so Nimrod and Abraham, they live, to be a bunch of, years old and stuff like that. You see these pyramids and how they are now defaced by the billows and dashes again over them. All right. Anciently, when they were complete, the whole surface were encased with beautiful tiles of the brightest blue and purest white, inlaid alternative in perfect square. He said, my prince Sesostris, the pyramids that you're looking at, they are the ruins. According to our sacred book, he said, when those pyramids were built, they were inlaid, which means the surfaces were inlaid with the purest white tile in blue. So the pyramids were like, you see, not those scumbag tile, the purest tile in ivory inlaid with gold. On top of the pyramid, they had a smaller pyramid made entirely of gold. That was a conductor that drew into the ley line. He said the pyramid were beautiful, sleek, beautiful, polished, slick, shiny. But when the flood came in and smashed against them, they get decals and stuff like that. Again, the water of the flood wasn't like a regular water. It wasn't a regular water. That's why the Mosai sent it down there. It seems the water that Mosai sent down there, the water were alive. They were like walking around and destroying things. They take form of people. And then they were like superheroes with water power that was shooting waters and then hurling water and be able to. If you watch a certain cartoon, I know the Static Shock, there's a dude that had a power of water. The way that this dude explained it, it seems like the water can take form of giants and then go ahead and fight the giants and kill them. That's how the water was able to decay the whole pyramid. He said before that the pyramids were beautiful. Imagine the pyramid has they were all like solar power. They had solar panel encased them. They were shining and brilliant, beautiful. And there weren't no dust around them. There wasn't a lush lands, and they have all the beautiful stuff in it. That's what he said. That was before the flood, though. Upon this magnificent encasing was inscribed in pictorial sign the history of men. But no person has ever interpreted them. You see, my prince, that here at the top are a few strata still remaining of the rich encasement. All the rest have been destroyed by the deluge, by the abrasion of the waves, and the hurling against its side a mighty ship, driven by the huge angry billows which roll like a boiling sea across the earth. That means the water that the Mosai sent it wasn't a regular water. Brothers, let's take a logical approach to the flood. When the Mosai ordained Noah to build the flood, Noah was a giant. His sons were giants. They were big men. Because pre-flood, the people was a lot bigger. The atmosphere was 100% oxygen. So to speak, it was richer. Now, the Mosai don't tell him to go take any type of wood. He gave him specific wood. And the Mosai blessed the ark. That means that ark can withstand whatever water. He built it against the flood, the water that are above. He built it as if he built it he built it proof of the water that are above. Now we know for a fact in the book of Joshua, when the water came in, the people went in the ark. They start knocking on the door. They want to break in. And in certain story, they had Og. Og, the giant, was out there defending the ark. He wasn't truly defending. He was like, he saw all of those people. They were trying to get in there. He won't be able to get in. That's how Og survived the flood. He hold on to the ark. So that's a legend and stuff. And he become Noah's slave or anything. That's a legend anyway. Now, brothers, sisters, when Noah went out there and preached 120 years, some people listened. They say none of them did not listen. Now, imagine, brothers, the Most High started to rain the water. It's starting to make it rain on the first day. And the people start seeing the water start gushing out of the ground, the water of the deep. Again, the water of the deep is not the same water as the one that are above the firmament, and is not as the one that are on the surface. All those waters, they are different. Wouldn't it make it sense that those people, well, they were traveling all around the earth. Wouldn't make it sense that they will run, and then they know, because they were mocking Noah for building this ark. It's not like those people didn't have ship back then. They saw the ship that Noah was building. It was weird. Not only was like the biggest ship that was built, but the ship has technology they never seen. They're like, why is he building this? He told them there will be a flood. Now, those people, they had everything that we have here, they had it. Don't think like they were backward scumbags and a bunch of barbaric people. No, they had a bunch of things too. Remember, those people were still messing with the Atlantean technologies. And they had ship back then too. They had probably ship that were bigger than Noah's ship. Noah and his son, those three, could not build a ship that a bunch of men, a bunch of giants used to take their time and build so they can invade other country. Most likely those people, they had other giant ship. And when they see this water coming, they will run to their own ship in the ocean. They'll say, let's go in our ship, and then the water will just raise the ship up. But it turned out the water that the Most High sent was boiling. It says here, the boiling water, that water was like weird. Again, it was a water that was alive. The water was boiling. The water was somewhat, had some type of awareness in it. Those people brothers, if you see this a massive amount of water coming, you will go hide in a boat. If you are at the port, you will stay in your boat. You will say, I will survive this. But somehow the water destroyed their boats. It ate up the boats. I don't know what kind of water was that, but the explanation that they give here, and then say the water was angry. They said the water came in like an ocean, an unknown ocean. They said the sky just opened, and then you can feel the wind, and then boom, the water fell. That means the water that the Most High sent destroyed their ships. The water, it wasn't a normal water. And he said, if you look on top of the pyramid, there are still some of that hieroglyphics things left. But thank you, brothers. Ancient Indian texts, they mentioned those people had flying cities. No doubt, brothers, they get into the flying cities and levitate the whole city above the water. That's when the Most High threw the city down. Yeah, those people has flying things. They could fly in the air. Remember in the book of Lamech of Cain, those people had a bunch of things. They used to drink potion and transform into beasts and stuff. I'm pretty sure some of them drink some potion and transform into a freaking whale or a fish, but they die. Yeah. Some of them went underground, but that's the thing. When you go underground in a cave, you push a big ass rock to block the cave. What about the water that opened from the earth and gush inside of that cave? Water were coming from the cloud, from the firmament, from the deep, and the sea elevate because the sea is an angel by itself. Thus you behold this vast structure, and is where ruins still retain fragment portion of the original glory and beauty. When the waters departed, the gods limited the lives of men to 100 years. Hence, the pyramids that the kings of the side of the flood have erected are comparatively small in magnitude. Okay, we just went in this. He said like the gods, aka the Mosai and the angels, they shorten men's lives to 100 years. We know 120 and 40 and something like that. But the third, was it not built before the flood? I did not intend you should so understand, he answered. It was commenced before the flood by the king who was destroyed thereby. But the son of the wise and good prince Noah completed it during the several hundred years that he lived, as he did his father also after the flood. For it was only the lives of the descendant that were to be limited. He says here, Noah and his children built some of the pyramids and the third one because it wasn't Noah, Shem, Japheth, and Ham. They could live, past 100 years. It was their children that could not live after past 100 because whatever come out of their loin, they could not live above 100. That's why they had to finish it. Thus, Amun says, well, hang on. Was destroyed. Yeah. Thus, Amun says tradition finished the third pyramid but did not encase it. So the third pyramid was finished by Amun, but he didn't put the tile, the beautiful tile, he did not encase it. Did not encase it as the art was lost by the deluge, which had destroyed those who were skilled in it. There are other accounts, my prince, but they either come near this one or so far differ from it that they are entitled to no credit. He said, after the third one, they finished the third one after the flood. Noah, Shem, Ham, Japheth finished it after the flood, but they could not encase it because the people that had the skills and know how to do it, they died during the flood. So they just leave it like that. Oops. It is your opinion then, O high priest, that these two pyramids were built by the giants of the ages before the great deluge? I have no other one, he replied firmly. When the age of men was shortened to 100 years from 1,000, his statutes was also lessened. So Sesostris said, are you sure what you just told me, is it your opinion? And so he said, nope, this is come from straight up the book. He said they were built by giants. He said when the gods, or aka Father and his angels, destroy men, he also shortened their statues. That's why people are 6 feet tall. 6 feet tall, 6, 7 feet were the heights of babies back then. Children. Remember the women like Sarai was like 11, 12 feet tall. Abraham was like 13, 15 feet tall, according to other books that we're reading. And then their forefathers were a lot bigger. Each generation, we get shorter, shrinker, and stupider. We lost knowledge. People think like we are so advanced because you can see me talking through this thing right there. That's technologically advanced. Oh, I can see this guy is in Florida and I'm all the way in UK. This is so advanced. Think about the technology that they have back then in Atlantis, where you can be anywhere in the universe. You can see me, I can see you. I can project. People will say, "Oh, Biglevi, you are teaching witchcraft." No, I can look at I could just step out, not even step outside. I can look through the roof and use my X-ray vision and look to the sky and look one of the stars and where the star is positioned, and then talk to the star, and this star will send like the star has that quote unquote something like a camera that can shine upon me and project my image to somebody that is another system, and they will see me here. They call that hard light technology. It's a light, but the light is hard. You can touch it. You can see me. We can, if we had this technology, we can telepathically connect to the ley line. Everybody will see everybody. We're inside a big building, but it's not real. We can just talk. Nobody else can hear us except for us. Now we are talking, you got all kind of scumbag. Back then, all people, when they want to go somewhere, they just say the name of this thing and a portal just open in front of them. They just walk right into it. Our technology get dumber and dumber and dumber. In fact, the technology stopped in the 1980s. Tell me one thing that we didn't have in the 1980s that we have it now. Computer? Or we have faster computer. Give me teleportation. Give me something like that. Give me teleportation. Give me interstellar travel. Can we go to Mars? Oh, we will go to Mars in 2021. Yeah. Give me something new. Oh, yeah, we can create a clone and stuff. Listen, I don't want this garbage. Give me something new. Open a portal to another dimension. Bring another being here. Oh, we did it. We have CERN. We can open portal. Yeah, CERN. Don't be researching us, though, but we have it. We can open portal. Oh, really? So you scumbag can open portal to other planet. The hell you're doing here? There's the pestilence, and there's a war coming. You guys pretty much have all books. You know everything the Most High is gonna do. You still here? You waiting until the big man get here? So, oh, he's here. Open the portal so we can get out of here. If you scumbag had any technology, you could open any portal. Nobody would have never heard of you here. Plus, you would have gone to other planets and bring higher technology here and make it seems like you come up with it. That's because you can't. You can't do this. Stop capping. Hence, the men of the age since the flood cannot build a pyramid like that one. At this, all the power of engines and art cannot uprear such stones 600 feet into the air. This is giant work. You heard what he said? He said, hence, men of this age. He said, our men cannot build a pyramid like this because the technology. He said, let me read it for you. Hence, the men of the ages since the flood cannot build a pyramid like one of these. All the power of engines, which mean the technologies, all the power of engines and art cannot uprear such stones 600 feet into the air. This is giants' work. He said, we don't have these technologies anymore. Those are giants' work. Even if you have the technology of the giants, you probably cannot use them because if they had some type of helmet you put in your head that draw some type of knowledge from you to operate those machines, you won't be able to operate it. Your head is way too small, your brain is way too small, and your body do not contain the energy that they contained back then. That's what he said. Then, you believe that there were giants in the earth in the days before the flood? I said doubtingly. He could not believe what this man is telling him. He said, this pyramid attest the fact. Define the word attest. A-T-T-E-S-T, attest. These pyramids attest the fact. He replied with an impressive gesture of his right hand towards the opposite one. He said, this pyramid attests the facts. This is true story. Noah himself says tradition and his son Caprice, Shufu, and Amin, or Amun. Ham, Shem, Japheth. That's why the pyramid are named after them. Noah himself says tradition and his sons Caprice, Chufu, and Amun or Menkerinis were gigantic. This is another book that confirmed Noah and his sons were giant men. Brothers, when they say something is giant, that doesn't mean they were evil. When they say something is giant, doesn't mean they were not good. Noah was a good giant, but he was a giant. He was big. He wasn't a deformed giant. We learn in certain books the giants that were going around killing people, they were a bunch of deformed. In the book of the King Og, which we're going to go into it, those giants were deformed. They weren't proper human. To us, brothers, to our size, if we see a man 20 feet tall, that's a giant to us. And to this man 20 feet tall, there's another one 400 feet tall. That's a titan. The titans were the one going around eating people and killing people. The normal giants like Noah, they get soil and contaminated. It told you Noah wasn't all that good. Noah wasn't all that good. The Most High said Noah was also corrupt. He had to take Noah, and then clean him. Attest means to testify, agreed, proof. Noah himself says tradition and his sons Caprice, Chufu, and Amun or Menkerinis were gigantic and are worshipped as gods. As you know, not only here in Syria and Ethiopia, but in the Orient and beyond the sea under various names, which is true. This is what happened. Again, this is just us, studying, brothers. Let's say 8 people survived the flood, 8 giants, men and women. They can live past all of them. They can live at least 1,000 years. Then they start having children. All their children are very small size. Him going somewhere and have a bunch of kids. And him told the Hamites, the Most High made the covenant with him. Japheth went another side, have a bunch of children, and told them the Most High made the covenant with him. Shem went somewhere and have a bunch of kids, and he told them the Most High made the covenant with him. Now, you got those kids, they cannot live past 100. And when him go into Shem land, and when they start mixing and they start looking to those guys, they say, wait a minute, my great-grandfather know you. You must be 200 years old. Say, yeah. Then you are a god. How could you live 200 years old? Plus, those guys has power. They know how to control and connect to the ley line. They had that knowledge, but their children could not. Because the Most High actually turned off the whole, everything we can. Brothers, the ley line could do anything. Provide you with food, energy, anything. Anything that you can possibly imagine, the earth can provide it. The earthly mother, the Holy Spirit can provide it on behalf of the Most High. Now we cannot do those things. Now those children, they become dumber and dumber and dumb. They keep worshiping Noah and Shem, Ham, Japheth as gods. And the third pyramid, Amun was entombed. I'm not quite sure who Amun is. Amun was entombed. And the second, Kipris or Shephet, who, when an aged king, was brought from the place where he died and placed him in sarcophagus above the chamber where lay the king who found sepulture there before the flood. Within the pyramid of which we are rest the sacred bones of Prince God Noah. Within the pyramid on which we are, so the pyramid that they say that's where Noah is buried. The bone, the sacred bone of Prince God Noah, who at the age of 950 years buried by the side of his eldest son Caprice. Now we start understanding Caprice might be Shem, okay, or aka Melchizedek. By his son Caprice, such as morning of all nations, all who sprung from his loins the earth never knew, and will never witness more, say the sacred scroll or the temples. All the kings and queens and princes and lords and nobles in every realm follow the embalmed body of the father and deity, and King Manasseh, his grandson, went up from Egypt with all the hosts of the land to meet the funeral procession of the receive the divine body. Chaos is but another name for Noah. You heard that? Chaos is just another name for Noah. He also is entombed and Manasseh. What happened here, brothers? It's the same thing that happened to Moses. In the book of the throne of David, Moses, remember when the Messiah took Moses and go bury Moses in a very secret place? Remember when Satan showed up and then tried to fight and took Moses' body, and the archangel Gabriel stand there and fight Satan? Satan wanted the body. When those big kings are dead, brothers, you really don't know where they are buried. Their burial place are sacred. Because people, for you Haitian out there, know, people can take their bones and do all sort of thing in it. They can extract the DNA and do all kind of magical bull with it and extract. So it is said chaos is another name for Noah. That means they say chaos is not buried here. He's buried another place. That means doing those guys' funeral, they just give you a coffin and then you assume the body's in there. So that means those guys are buried in secret place. That's why when they came back to get the body of YAHAWAH, they could not find him. There are some bodies the Most High doesn't let them to be buried places people can find them. Like Adam. They say the body of Adam is buried in that place, but the Most High always have them move. Even the body of Joseph, I believe Isaac died in Egypt. His body was transported secretly, and now we know where the body is, according to the book of according to the book of the throne of David. So the bodies, they are buried in secret place. They say it's inside of the pyramids. You know, things like that. So, such, my dear mother, is the priestly tradition of the pyramids. We of Tyre have a myth that the father of the flood is buried in Damascus. There you goes again. The Phoenician, they have a myth that the father of the flood, aka Noah, is buried in their land. That's what happened, brothers. Him tell his children the Most High choose him. He has the priesthood. Japheth tell his children the Most High choose him. He has the priesthood. Shem told his children the Most High choose him. He has the priesthood. So everybody is fighting now. I am the true Israelite. I got that lane over there. I'm receiving $19 billion a year. Well, a day. I'm the Israeli. Everybody want to be the Most High chosen, even though the Most High didn't make a covenant with those people. Oh, yeah, YAHAWAH, yeah. The story happened here. His body is here in our land right here. We are the only people that never claim none of those things. We don't need to claim them because we are them. Remember, brothers, when Noah was dividing the Americas, the entire earth, because Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, they had the knowledge of the entire earth. Brothers, in the book that we were reading, which I can bring it to you, it is said 12,000 years ago, every little kid that was born, they had the knowledge of gravity, which is the knowledge of the ley line. What you're calling gravity is a function of the ley line. Once you can control the ley line, you can control everything. So the more Noah, just like the Celtic Druids, can use the ley line and flew wherever he wants to, just like his children. And then they can levitate on top of the earth. Oh, 10 o'clock. Do I have things? Do I have things here? No, I don't have anything in here. No, let me check my email. It's 10 o'clock, brothers. Let me check my email. Have anything? If not, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it moving. Oh, why is my internet is so slow? Oh, good Lord, I got 6 emails. Russia, new weapon. Okay, so all right. Let us keep on trucking. Let us keep on trucking. Let us keep on trucking. So I don't have anything for 10 p.m. Let us keep on trucking. So now, brothers, when Noah was dividing the earth to his children, Shem, Ham, Japheth, he made it clear. He gave Shem the best of the best land. Every land that are around that are fertile and good, those are the Shemim, the Shemites, the Melchizedekites or Melchizedekites. Now he gave him the hot land, the deserts, and gave Japheth the cold land that always snowing and stuff. That doesn't mean the South and the North Pole. That's not what that means. Remember, the South and North was frozen by an angel, the Most High commanded him. Conspiracy started. They are siblings. Why did Father give Shem? I know he likes Shem more than us. Brothers, from the beginning, they know the Most High through Shem. They gave Shem the best land. And Shem went to his land with his wife and started multiplying. And the Shemites were on the land for generations. Now, before they make them go away in the book of Jubilee, they made them sign a contract for life. They say, whomsoever, brothers, that go to a land that is not theirs and swaggerjack that land, you will suffer a curse for eternity. Your children will suffer that curse. And they all signed on it. They sealed it. Ham was aware of that. Japheth was aware of that. Shem, Melchizedek was aware of that. And Noah was aware. And all their children were aware. But when Ham has his children, one of his son, his favorite son, Canaan was about to go to the Ham land. But when he looked, he saw the Shemites. He saw the land of Shem, his land of his uncle. The land was lush, beautiful. The atmosphere is clean and stuff. Him like, what the is going on here? Remember, brothers, Canaan father, him, a giant, he lived hundreds of years old. Canaan could not live hundreds of years old. His life was shortened. Hey, I'm not going to live that long. I might as well go take this land. And his father told him, you can't do this. I signed a contract. Japheth signed a contract. Shem signed a contract. If you do this, your children going to be cursed. Canaan was like, I don't give a man. You old people live hundreds of years. I'm barely going to reach like 150. And Canaan swaggered jack all Shem land. He massacred the Shemites and took over the land. There was a huge battle. That's why they called him the land of Canaan. That's why the Most High promised Abraham the land of Canaan. It wasn't for Canaan. He swaggered jacked the land from Shem, aka Melchizedek. The purest priesthood was already given unto Melchizedek, passed to Aaron and all that, and then now we have it. I don't know who have the priesthood, but yes. So people are saying, why the Most High is so evil? He took Canaan land and gave it to the Israelites. He wasn't for Canaan. And next thing you know, all the Japhethites, they came too. Say, hey man, Ham is over there stealing the land. They will come too. The children, if you look at certain people that Joshua was destroying, they from the line of Japheth. So now they swagger jack and invade our land and took it. Brothers, you know what that means? When you do this, brothers, not only the curse will follow you, you also forfeited your own lane. Your own lane become that person lane by default, because you try to swagger jack that person, you destroy stuff, so you now have to pay for this compensation. You have to give the lane back plus your own freaking lane. That's why the Most High said the entire earth belongs to us. We will tell those people where their lane at. Just because Ham live in that land, that means it's a Hamite lands. Those are lands. Just because Japheth live in Europe, I don't know, in certain core part, it's their land. We will tell those people where your land at. When you, brothers, if back then you went in there, you did as a man, you did something to a woman, you forfeited your life. That woman did not want this, and they're proof that people see, okay, you did this. Now you're gonna have to pay. What you gonna give? You stole that guy land. You massacre his people. So you're gonna give the land back? Is that what that is? You're gonna give the land back all broken? No, you're gonna have to pay, man. You're gonna have to give the land back, repair the land, and then give some of that money. I don't have money. What about your land? Sign it over, fool. You forfeited your land. So now that's why the Most High made it clear, say, Canaan, you shall be the slave of your brothers. That's the law, man. You gotta pay. You're gonna pay double. You shouldn't done that, but you did. All of those are recorded in different books: the book of Jubilee and the book of Japheth, the book of Jasher. And so the Most High, when the Most High blessed us, brothers, we are going into these books and connect all the dots. All of you are here. Everybody's agree. Everybody thumbs up because they make the connection. That's why I don't debate with people. Oh, where does it say America is our land? Where does it say the Holy Spirit is a female? Where does it say we have to pray to the Holy Spirit? Well, I don't have time to argue. If one of you here, one of the people, like Sister Terry asked me a question like this, like, why do you ask me this? You already know this. That's why I deal with people that understand what we are saying. We can move further and faster. Now, he said about Tyre that's Sesostris. He said, the priestly tradition of the pyramids, we of Tyre have a myth that the father of the flood is buried in Damascus. But though Egyptians love to concentrate all history on their own land and make Egypt the cradle of human race, everybody does that. When Canaan got the land of Shem, I got the land now, therefore I got the blessing, I got the priesthood. Woo! And he start popping again. Canaan was the son of him. He was also a giant. Okay, he was a giant, but he wasn't as big as him. Him was bigger. He was his father, but he was probably, a little bit not too. That he was probably right here to his father, so to speak. The Canaanites were giants that invade the land of Shem. When they stole your land, they think they steal the blessing. They think they steal the priesthood, the heavenly priesthood. Egyptians love to concentrate all history around their own land and make Egypt the cradle of human race. Again, yet as this tradition seems to be better founded than ours, as they can point to the grand tomb of these kings of the flood. I am ready to concede to her the honor of which she claims of being the place of sepulture of the giants who survived the deluge. And what feed a tomb in these eternal mountains of granites could be the progenitor of the race repose in it. Fit sepulchre are there in the grandeur proportion of men whose stature was gigantic and whose lives extended to 1,000 years. But I must return to the prospect from the summit because Museum of Giants, the sun was near the horizon and stuff like that. So he told the mother, say, Mom, the tradition that we have in Phoenicia, Tyre, and Zidon, I'm ready to concede this to the Egyptian. Not only they gave us the history, they also give me the proof where those people are buried. I must give them the proof. Give me give me a second, brothers. All right. We got 2 more pages. We're going to finish. So then again, like I said, he went in there and then he was looking and he saw Goshen, brothers. Again, Goshen turned into the hood. That's where they put our people. They quarantined. Well, they pushed them out of Goshen, and that's where the Hebrews were. Okay. All right. So let me see. All right. Now, oh, let me see. Good. Let's get this chapter right here. Now, brothers, this is all prophecies, okay? This next step we're going to read, this are all prophecies. The Iraq heard me utter this word for well, he said something here. Well, yeah, he said like he was so amazed. He said, "Oh, happy, glorious, mighty Egypt, what a blessed and for favored land art thou." That means the land was beautiful in the eyes of Sesosius. Said, Egypt, happy art thou, your land is blessed. Oh, so you're gonna rule forever and ever. So the high priest heard him. The high priest said, don't be so sure. And those sacred texts, we have a book that says, the future of Egypt, my prince, no man can foresee. But the sacred books contain a prophecy that during one cycle of a soul, 3,000 years, she will be a nation despised and ruled by kings of another race. And all that will remain to her will be her defaced pyramids and temples, the marvel of which will bring strangers from the end of the earth, curious to gaze upon the mute witnesses of her ancient power and glory. Wow. He said, my prince, don't be too happy. In the pyramid, we have a sacred books that says, in one cycle of the soul, that's to it according to the Egyptian brothers. This is not me saying this. It took your soul 3,000 years to cycle back into a human body. Again, you spend 1,000 years living in the sea as a bunch of animals, and you die, repeat. Then you spend another 1,000 living out a bunch of birds, and dying, and you speak another 1,000 living out a bunch of animals on walking on the end on the land, and then you will become human. He said one cycle of one soul, 3,000 years. This beautiful land that you see will be ruled by an unknown race. This land will be despised like the people. Yeah, he told them this is a prophecy, brothers. Our land. People despise us, they hate the land. That's why they are destroying it like that. And he said, the gods forbid, I said. And he said, your land too, Tyree. Because the priests understand Phoenicia is actually a Shemite, is a Melchizedek land, is our land too. Phoenicia is our land. He said, the gods, the answer, govern the earth. And what do they will do with the kingdom? This sacred papyri or papyri also speak of Tyrian prophecy, its desolation. Okay? And said that the empire of commerce shall be removed to an unknown world beyond the great sea of the west, and that a race yet unborn shall sway the destinies of the earth, and other religion shall prevail in the hearts of men. He prophesies everything: Jacob's trouble, Christianity, Christopher Columbus, all of that. Now you know where Tyre was. Tyre and Zidon. He said Tyre was the capital city of well, Tyre is Tarshish and Phoenicia. Those were giant islands. So he said like Tyre, Phoenicia is the mother of all commerce. But in that same time, she will be desolate. Brother, when they say desolate, that means you don't have a God, you don't have priest, you don't have king. The people that come in your land with their own God, with their own priest, with their own king, the land belongs to them now. It desolated to you, but it belonged to them. So he was sad. He said, God, oh damn, man. Tyree, my home. And he told the mother, but whatever the guys want to do, this is their business. And he asked them, he said, what are these papyri? I asked. He said, books which have been handed down from the first kings, whom is their turn received from them, the ancient gods. You see what that say here? When he asked him, okay, what are those papyri? He said those papyri, those prophecies has been passing from kings to kings. That means every single leaders around the world, they know this. They know the prophecies. They know that. That's why you see the big bear today was talking about the red line. He was so sad. Brethren, don't think old man 45, 46 want to go to war with the bear. None of them want to do this. They both will lose the blessing. Do you see how sad those guys are? You don't see the pride when they're talking like, hey, man, we say, if one of you cross the red line, we will come with you with fury. And just like AKA the little mustache dude was talking in the 40s when he was putting his hand like this, talking and stuff. This man was speaking with such a power. He was speaking with such a pride. He was speaking and stuff. Now you don't see that. You don't see it. They don't want to do this. Everybody's talking, yeah, well, I give you 6 days to get off my land. And if you cross the red line, and I will be tough on you. And then old man 46 says, okay, well, I'm going to do we have to do this, man? I don't want to lose this blessing, man. Come on, man. Well, let's make up. Hey, this is why obviously the Most I say you scumbag gonna have to fight. Back then, so-called Stalin, when Stalin was speaking, those guys speak with such a pride and rage and stuff. You don't see that anymore. Oh well, what's going on? Everybody want to be quiet as a church mouse. Eminent and inevitable. So Sisoshi's got a little sad and stuff like that. And all right, let's get to the last page and then let's conclude this. Let's get to the last page, brothers. As it was now, sunset, page 200. Okay, we're halfway into this book. No. We're almost halfway into it. It's 448 pages, so we're 220, 224, something like that. We're 24 pages to be halfway in it. But as it was now, sunset, we hasted to our chariot and drove back to the city along the magnificent causeway I have before described. So now the sun is about to setting. They get off from the pyramids and then they jump on their chariots and then they start moving. Upon my return to the palace of the high priest, and after describing to his beautiful daughter Luxora the incident of my visit, she said with an arch smile, "You ought not, O Sesashtus, to have come away without seeing the emerald table of Hermes." Oh, things are about to get good. Anybody familiar with the table of the emerald tables of Hermes? Anybody know the? Well, I'm just telling you. Anybody know the emerald tablet of Thoth? The emerald tablet of Thoth. Anybody know? Woo! Anybody know this? Yeah, the emerald tablets. Yeah, if you heard of it, that's good. As long as you heard of it. Enoch, aka Thoth. Yeah. Now, good. That's good. And the daughter of the high priest, Luxura, said, "You ought not, O Sesostris, to have come away without seeing the emerald tablet of Hermes." So again, emerald tablet of Hermes. Hermes is known as Joseph. Okay, Joseph has an emerald tablet, which is copied from old man Enoch. All right. "I heard nothing of it, lady," I answer. "I have moresoever seen splendor enough for one day. What and where is this table?" "It in the central chamber of the Great Pyramid. The people of Egypt believe the tradition, and so also have some of its king." So now we know the tablet are inside of the pyramid. That's what she said. She said that, well, they said tables, but that they are tablets. You know, say that they are records. So, well, the records are inside of the pyramid, and it's in a tradition. And he said, "What is the tradition?" I asked. "But first, do you believe it?" "With all my heart. I never doubted it since I was a child," she answered, smiling, yet with a tone of sincerity. "My father thinks if it were true, it would have been removed when the god Noachis was placed there." So it's a tradition. The tradition say the tablets are inside of the pyramid. But the father, the high priest, believe if it was true, the god Noachis, aka Noah, was going to remove them. "It is not in the chamber of the sarcophagus, sister." That's brothers. This next chapter we're going to read tomorrow. Gonna get a hell of a lot more interesting. So his other sister came in while they were talking. He said, "It is not in the pyramid, Sister Luxuria." That's that his other sister, Osiria. Okay, "It is not in the chamber of the sarcophagus, sister," said Osiria, the sister younger than Luxoria. That's the little one. Again, those sisters, they never behave. "A maiden remarkable for her sprightly and intelligence. It is in the vault of crystal under the pyramid." Listen, she said the tablets are not in the pyramid. They are in a vault of crystal inside of the pyramid. So inside of beneath under the pyramid, beneath the pyramid, there's a giant crystal that's like a vault. That's like a fort, like a giant vault that has the record in there. You say it's not in the pyramid, but in the crystal vault which is under the pyramid. "You are right, my dear sister," replied the elder gracefully. "I will tell the prince the legend. Then I will tell him mine." So now you see the sisters are kind of like fighting to tell the prince the story, which one he's going to like first. So, and then Luxara, the older sister, say, "Well, I will tell him my tradition." And Osiria say, "I will tell him mine." And then we'll see which one of us he likes the best. "Then I will tell him mine," said Osiria. "With look, I know he will like mine the best." Osiria already take a step, say, "Well, I know he will like mine the best. My story is better. He will like me the best." And the sister thing, she say, "Because he likes you the best, is it? But have a care, Osiria. Our guest is betrothed to a great princess in his own country." Again, brothers and sisters, Jews and Gentiles alike, protocol and certain things you don't say. When a woman says something and she said, "You will like what I'm gonna tell you," that means she's not talking about the subject. She's talking about herself. And the little sister, she's you already see who she is. And she already say, "Oh, well, he will like me and stuff like that because I'm gonna tell him my story better." And then the older sister say, "Hey, have a care, sister. He has a girlfriend he's supposed to marry. So formality and protocol. Is it just, hey?" Have a little respect for them, and I know who you are. You're my little sister. I know you already preheated that oven. You want to bake some cookie for the prince? No, no. He already had a bakery that he owned. Just close your leg. That need not prevent. You see how much of a horse he was. When the older sister tell her that, she told her straight up, well, that need not to prevent him from being my good friend. And this, anybody catching the sister Griffith, she said, well, that need not to prevent him from being my good friend. And that's Osiria, the little sister. You already see this type of a girl. She's also said, well, just because he has a girlfriend, that doesn't mean I could be the friend with benefit, the good friend. Okay? That need not to prevent him from being my good friend. And this, brothers, protocol and formality, okay? Your and Sesostris talk with authority. Your tradition, noble luxuria. And he told her, technically told her, I'm not interested, but tell me the story. He didn't even talk to Osiria because he already see Osiria is all over the place. This is page 201. He didn't even talk. Osiria was way too hot for him. Just like that freaking princess Mikal. I told you, those princesses never behave, brothers. I never in my life read a book. I'm finding the daughter of a noble or the princess behave. They never did. And then Sesostris turned around to Luxuria. Luxuria is much more calm and she's much more step by step. And then the prince turned to Luxuria. I said, Luxuria, your tradition, tell me. And Luxuria start telling him, all right, we're done. This is what Luxuria said, the older sister. It is this, in the ancient days of the earth, before the deluge of the gods, the thrice great Hermes, who knew all the secrets of alchemy, aka old man Enoch, engraved them upon an emerald table and placed it in a cave, which is sealed up. His motive for doing this was both to preserve them and to conceal them from men. For the race of men has gone so wicked that they made use of what they knew of alchemy to injure one another and defy the deities. Answer back the thunder of heaven with their own thunders, with thunders of their own. Over this cave, the pyramid was built, and there the emerald tablet with all its secrets, so dear to our sex, has remained to this hour. I take Luxura for a legend, and I assure her that I had quite as much curiosity to see the wonderful emerald as she had. But if it were discovered, say that's Osiria, the sister. Man, she's very persistent. And Osiria stepped in. She said, but if it were discovered, who could read and understand their upon it? Now, O prince, hear my tradition. For having visited the pyramids, it will be agreeable to hear all that is said about them. And then the prince said, I will listen with the greatest pleasure, I answered. But, dear mother, I will here close this long letter and reserve for the commencement of my next, the singular tradition related to me by Osiria. All praises to the Most High. We start at page 202. Tomorrow, if the Most High allowed, we'll go to letter 17. All praises to the Most High, brothers and sisters. All praises. The Most High is big as when. This is what happened. The high priest just gave Sesostris a tour of the whole pyramid, the whole history and all that. So he came back home with Sesostris. He has two daughters. The oldest one name is Luxura. The little one, which is the super hot one, her name is Osiria. Now, Luxuria is much more older. She's much more not knowledgeable, but she's very careful. She's reeling in the bait But Osiriah don't do this. Osiriah just open the door of that oven, coming, bring it in. That's what she. Osiriah preheated that oven for Sesostris. She's not the one that beat around the bush. She just coming straight up and say, "Oh, hey, you want to do stuff?" Yeah, that's her. Luxuria told, he said, "My prince, have you ever heard of the tradition?" Politely. He said, "Well, I'm just tired. I'm came from the stuff." He said, "Do you heard of the tradition that the tables, the tablets, are buried in the pyramid?" And the sister, the little sister, come out of nowhere and step and say, "They are not buried in the pyramid. They are buried in a crystal which is inside of the pyramid." And then the sister look at her and say, "Wow, calm down and stuff. I will tell him the tradition." She says, "Well, he will like mine the best. I'm pretty sure you will like me, right?" And the sister said, "Hey, sis, calm down. He has a girlfriend in named Tamunda and Phoenicia and Tyre. Just calm down." And the sister said, "Calm down. So that doesn't mean he and I can be friend in this. That doesn't mean I can be the good friend." So Sesostris already see who Osiria is. Sesostris come to Luxuria and say, "Luxuria, your tradition, please." The tradition said, before the deluge, before the flood, there was a great, well, here you go, a great king god named Hermes, aka Tough, aka Old Man Enoch. He had all the knowledge of alchemy, which means technology. He know everything because the Most High taught him. He was ruling over the men. He was, Enoch ruled the entire earth. So he was teaching men how to use the technology and stuff like that. So the men become wicked. They start using the technology to hurt each other. And then when the Mosai sent a thunder down, they sent the Mosai their own thunder, which means when the Mosai did something and they used their own technology that they learned from Enoch and then did something, a copycat what the Mosai did. So Enoch saw that. Enoch wrote all the knowledge and the tablets, and then he encased them and put them inside the pyramid. So a certain people can get it at a certain time. The sister said, Osiria said, "Whatever. I know he's gonna love mine the best." He says, "So, Sesostris, if you wanna live to mine, if you wanna hear my tradition, you can come over and my daddy's not here and you can come. Don't worry, I got somebody with me. I got an assistant. She and I, we got tablets and stuff. And just come to my room and then I will explain everything to you. But my assistant gonna be here, so I mean I can kick her out. I can kick her out if that's what you want, but she will be here and I will explain everything to you." And then the prince say, "Okay." And the next chapter, she's going to tell her side of the story. Beautiful. Oh, brothers. The next chapter is beautiful. Some of the stuff, brothers, you like, man, the most man, that guy, he never ceases to amaze me, man. Checkmate after checkmate, brothers. Yeah, so it stopped right here, brothers. Now we learn that the pyramids are pre-flood. Two of them are pre-flood. The other one was built, started to build during before the flood, but after that, Noah and his son finished it, but they did not have the technology to encase it, and they left all those knowledge, and then Melchizedek, aka Shem, give pass it to Abraham, and Abraham taught the other Egyptians how to build smaller pyramid because they could not build giant pyramid because they did not have the technology and know how to. So we find out the flood did not only destroy the earth, and the flood water that are above the firmament are a lot different than the water that we have here. So, if brothers, so to speak, there are a water above the firmament, it makes sense there should be animal living in that water, and those animal, those fishes are a lot bigger. Some of them could swallow the whole earth, so to speak. Good, so to speak. Oh, so the Most High is amazing, man. It's amazing. Again, brethren, um, I'm not disparaging any science. I'm not saying the earth is flat. I'm not saying the earth is round. I'm not debating none of that. I'm just telling you what is saying in books I'm reading. All the books mention there are water above the firmament. And the Most High is grand. I don't know when he's going to crack that firmament open, and but the Most High will. He'll be here. So, brothers and sisters, I hope you guys learned something today about the pyramids. Okay, they are giant tombs of ancient kings that lived before, and they left all the knowledge, all the technology that they have inside of the pyramid, so to speak. But we know for a fact our ancestors were somewhat crafty. They tell people, hey, we put it inside of the pyramid. And then they truly wrote it. They were brothers. Our people were too smart. They will not write something and then put it in a physical place. They will write it in your DNA. They will write it in your heart. All you need to do is put your hand upon one of the objects, and then boom, the knowledge will pop up in your mind. And you'll know instantly what it is. You don't really need like some type of tablets to look for the Most High. He is already here. You just need to make the connection, and then everything will be unlocked for you. We just need to. We told you we will stumble upon one book or one artifacts, which I believe we already stumbled upon it. We just don't know how to unlock these artifacts. I have no idea how to unlock this thing. It's locked. The Most High haven't given us. It's been locked for like thousands of years. Even my great great grandfather could not unlock it. My grandfather could not. I cannot. We just leave it wherever it is. So once the Most High give the green lights, and we will just unlock these artifacts, and then He will tell us what's in there, what is it. Brothers, all those things that we're talking about, excuse me, if we cannot prove them, well, they are nothing but fairy tales. The Most High will prove everything that He said here. This is the Most High talking. He will prove everything. We just have to be patient. Brothers, sisters, as you can see, brothers, this thing is not getting this thing is not getting back to normal, man. Everything is getting worse and worse and worse. Those people don't want to fight, brothers. Remember, the Most High give us a message. There will be an event that happen, brothers. It will be so grand, it will be so majestic that we will have the massive influx. There will be a massive influx of people that will come. And for this massive of influx of people to come, the other priesthood must fall, and they must fall real hard. Like the priesthood of Mahan must be completely and utterly destroyed so the people cannot go and run unto them. When this thing happen, I don't know what it is, what it's going to be. Most likely we already talk about that, and we will have those people running unto us. Again, I don't think I personally can save them. I don't know about you. I cannot save those people. That's why we're talking here, brothers. We told you, Jews and Gentiles alike, uncover your heart, repent for your sin, cleave unto us, and cling unto our Father. And when we say cleave unto us, we don't mean you just sit there watching our videos and then agree with us. No, you will help and work for the nation. You will work for the Father. And what I mean by it, I'm not talking about the Jews out there. I'm talking about the Gentiles that want to cleave in. You will return every single thing that you took back from us. I don't mean like, oh, sending money and all that. No, give back the land, the houses, the cars, the yacht, the businesses, the secrets books. You will give them back. God, God have mercy on your soul. You just listen now and then you give it back. Instead of waiting like angry men coming and put your teeth on the step of your house and step inside your on the top of your head and break your teeth. You will give it back. If you're Gentiles watching this, whether now in the future, there's nothing I can do for you. There's nothing. We will not have to force you, but remember this, so it won't come to a shock to you people out there. Big Levi will be at the head of the shakedown. That is because I pray the most. I tell the most, when you're gonna do this thing, Father, I'll be at the head of this, and I will have no mercy. I prefer that you don't do it. You just hold on to it. And then when the Most High give the go and then the power up came in, our eyes start glowing and we start gaining this strength back, I will not hold back. Oh, I told the Most High straight up, I will not hold back. Hopefully, he doesn't have me doing some type of crowd control thing, you know? He doesn't have to tell me, Big Levi, take those people, bring them in on the inner earth, keep them inside of the earth safe for me. Ah, come on, Father. Yeah, what about the war and stuff like that? But if you say, Big Levi, put your armor on and go out there and start effing up ship. Good. Again, we are not begging you. We're just simply asking you to return what you have stolen, to return what your forefathers have stolen. The land first, the houses, the assets, not paper money, the gold, the silver, the precious stone. Brothers, you take all those gold and precious stones that those people stole, they just throw them away or they don't use them anymore. The paper money is nothing, but the gold, the silver, the precious stones, send them. No matter what you have out there, you will send them. And again, Jews and Gentiles alike, the Mosai is not playing. This is not a game. This is very real. Now, beloved brothers and sisters, as today is January the 21st, tomorrow, April the 21st, tomorrow is the 22nd. We are going to fast for repentance for our sins and our ancestors' sin. Tomorrow, the 22nd, we'll fast from sunrise to sunset. Then, the Saturday, 24th, we're going to put $40 in our $5 challenge. For those of you who are taking the $5 challenge, please bring your $40. And then, well, keep it. Don't send me the money, brothers and sisters. I keep saying this all the time. Do not bring the money. Hold it. Put your $40, the 24th. And the 30th, we're going to say the prayer of Azariah. And the first, we're going to say the prayer of Manasseh. By the power, the Most High vested in me. And he can take it anytime he feel like. I'm leaving all of you in peace. Be at peace, brothers and sisters. Tomorrow we will study again. If the Most High allow it, we will study the next tradition. What did Osiriah tell Osesostris? And there's a very, very important person, brother, that is Osiriah assistant. This person is Osiriah assistant. You will meet this person, a beautiful person. This person will blow your mind. You will forget about Osiriah. This person will be on your mind, and you will understand why the Most High do this. Okay, Shalom. May the King reign forever. Somebody was asking about the music, so let me bump one of those music. All right, let me pray. Oh boy, let me play one of the beats. Oh boy. Can't hear anything. Ah. Ah.